There are moments in life when a single request reveals everything you need to know about a person. Sometimes it's not what people say, but what they ask of you that uncovers the deepest shadows of their psyche. I am Carl Jung, and I invite you now to examine with me the hidden structure behind certain human interactions. Not all requests are innocent. Not all appeals for help are rooted in goodwill. Some are masks, some are weapons, and some are invitations into a psychic labyrinth from which many never escape. Today, I want to share with you 5 requests people make that are not only dangerous, but signal a psychological dynamic that can quietly destroy your sense of self. These are not just red flags. These are warning signs that your soul must not ignore, because behind each of these requests lies a manipulation, a distortion, or a deep unconscious need to use your energy to sustain a false self. If you value your peace, your truth, your path toward individuation, stay away from people who ask you for these 5 things. Request 1. Please don't change. At first, it may sound romantic or nostalgic. Someone close to you says they miss how things used to be. They miss the version of you that laughed more, agreed more, sacrificed more. What they are really saying is this: stay small so I do not have to face my own discomfort. Do not grow because your growth threatens my control. Jung would tell you that the psyche resists change, not because it is unnatural, but because it threatens the fragile balance the ego has worked so hard to maintain. When someone asks you not to change, they are asking you to sacrifice your evolution for the sake of their emotional convenience. This is not love. This is fear dressed in sentimentality. The process of individuation requires that you honor your transformation, even if it makes others uncomfortable. Stay away from those who need you to remain who you were, to keep their illusion intact. Request 2. Keep this a secret, even from yourself. This is not said directly. It is implied. Someone does something that hurts you, betrays you, or violates a boundary, and then they say, let's not talk about it. Let's move on. Let's pretend it never happened. What they are really saying is this: deny your truth so I can avoid mine. Jung warned that what we repress does not disappear. It retreats into the unconscious where it festers and grows. When someone asks you to keep a secret that should be spoken, when they demand your silence as a condition for peace, they are dragging you into the underworld of psychological suppression. And if you comply, you will not only lose your voice, you will lose your clarity. Stay away from those who need your denial to maintain their comfort. Their silence is not protection, it is poison. Request 3. Make me your purpose. Some people do not want connection. They want worship. They do not want partnership. They want possession. They present their pain to you as a sacred duty, making you responsible for their healing, their regulation, their survival. This is not love. This is enmeshment. Jung taught that the self must become whole through integration, not dependency. When someone asks you to make them the center of your existence, they are asking you to abandon your individuation. They are asking you to orbit their wounds instead of healing your own. This request may come disguised as vulnerability, but it is rooted in fear of abandonment and need for control. Stay away from those who cannot exist unless you are losing yourself. The soul was never meant to be furniture in someone else's emotional house. Request 4. Forgive me, but never mention what happened again. Forgiveness without acknowledgement is not healing. It is erasure. Some people will say they are sorry, but what they really mean is, let us erase your pain so I can remain innocent in your eyes. They do not want to carry the weight of what they have done. They want you to carry it and never speak of it again. Jung believed that all healing begins with truth, not selective truth, not comfortable truth, but the full picture. When someone asks for forgiveness without confession, they are asking you to bury the evidence of their shadow so they can continue to live as if it does not exist. That is not reconciliation. That is manipulation. Stay away from those who seek redemption without responsibility. Your forgiveness is sacred. Do not give it to someone who is only asking to escape the mirror. Request 5. Be who I need you to be, not who you are. This is perhaps the most dangerous request of all. It may not be spoken directly, but you will feel it every time you act against your instincts to please them. Every time you shrink to avoid conflict. Every time you betray yourself to preserve connection. They want the version of you that complies, agrees, adapts. They do not want your authenticity. They want your performance. Jung taught that to live inauthentically is to invite neurosis. When someone asks you to wear a mask to keep the peace, they are asking you to fracture your soul for their comfort. This is not a relationship. It is a theater. And you are the actor losing yourself in the role. Stay away from those who require your absence to love you. There is no peace in self-abandonment. Now you may ask, why would people make such requests? Why would they ask for your silence, your stagnation, your submission? Because they are unconscious. Because they have not faced their own shadow. Because they are terrified of what your truth reveals about their illusion. Do not hate them, but do not follow them either. Your soul has other plans. The path of individuation, the journey toward wholeness, requires discernment. It requires that you listen deeply to what is being asked of you. Not just the words, the energy, the pattern, the intention behind the request. Some people are not asking you to be close. They are asking you to disappear into them. Do not comply. You are not here to be consumed. You are here to become. Every time you honor your truth, you strengthen your connection to the self. Every time you say no to a request that violates your inner knowing, you reclaim a part of your soul. And every time you walk away from those who ask for your surrender instead of your authenticity, you walk deeper into freedom. So the next time someone asks you for something, pause, feel, listen beyond the words. And if what they ask requires your silence, your sacrifice, or your erasure, let that be your answer. Stay away, not out of fear, but out of love. Love for the one thing you must never abandon, yourself.